In this episode, I want to talk about how to be in control of your weight gain or weight loss. Welcome to this episode of the Limitation Isn't Rise podcast. Over the many years of working with people on trying to help them improve their life, there's one thing that's come up a lot that the first time it ever came up I thought was really random, and I figured it would be the one and only time it would ever happen. But actually over the years it's happened time and time again. And I remember this guy was asking me about fat loss. He wanted to become leaner, he wanted to lose a bit of weight and just become healthier. He'd got that age in his life where he decided that he had lived long enough being overweight and getting up in the morning and being sore and feeling sluggish all day and not really feeling in control of his life. So he asked me to help him with fat loss, with gaining a wee bit of tone, a wee bit of muscle. And he told me that one of his biggest problems after maybe about a week, he said that he's getting good at the cutting out the chocolate and everything, but he's having difficulty cutting out crisps. And I remember just off the top of my head saying, well, maybe if you just started eating spinach out of the bag, it would feel like you're eating crisps. The taste of spinach, the feel of it, and the rustling of the bag whenever you're dipping your hand in and out, the same actions would be happening. So a lot of the same things are going on. The only difference is you're eating something healthy rather than something not so healthy. And he actually laughed. It was on a Zoom call and he actually laughed at me. And I was like, what are you laughing at? He was like, well, I can't cook spinach and then throw it into a bag. That would be disgusting. And I was like, yeah, you just eat it raw. And he laughed again. He was like, what do you mean eat it raw? Like, you can't eat spinach raw. And I told him that that's the whole point of, like, vegetables. You can't eat them raw. Like, that's the point of them. And actual fact, the raw, for most vegetables, not all, but most, raw is better. Some need a wee bit of cooking to release, we're not going to get too deep into it, but to release more of the nutrients. But most of the time you can eat it raw and it's better for you. And he was blown away by this. He went away, the next day he texted me and he was like, I did it, I had spinach instead of a packet of crisps and it was lovely and it felt kind of the same and I think I'll be able to do that. And then the next question sort of threw me as well. The next question was, what other vegetables can you eat raw? And I was like, fuck. Like, are you taking the piss or what's going on here? So we had a back and forth for a bit. And then I realised that he wasn't taking the piss. He actually had no understanding of vegetables. It was never in his wheelhouse or in his like thought pattern when he went to eat. Like, vegetables came cooked with the steak or they came on your burger. He never really thought about them. So like this sort of opened up his world for healthy eating. And initially I thought he was going to be the first. He was the first and would be the only person to ask me anything as ridiculous as that. In my understanding, that was just a ridiculous statement. But it happened again and again and again. And if you have an addiction of crisps or you really like eating crisps and want to switch it up, like this is something I've told off the top of my head at least 7 clients to do, and they've done it and it's replaced their want for eating crisps. So give it a go if you're that way inclined. But it just got me thinking that most of the people probably fail in their weight gain and weight loss journey because they don't understand. Like if I was to show you what 100 grams of porridge oats look like and 100 grams of chocolate and one in each hand, you would go, gee, that doesn't, they don't even remotely match up. But if you had to eat 100 grams of porridge, that would fill you up. And if you had 100 grams of chocolate, that wouldn't really like do anything for you, or 100 calories, whatever way you want to look at it, even 100 calories and 100 calories of each, the difference is massive. Same as with veg. If I had 100 grams or 100 calories of veg and 100 grams or calories of chocolate, it's so massive that you would think that would fill you and that one would not fill you. So why do people not educate themselves? Why do you want to lose weight, or why do you want to get healthier or stronger, but you're unwilling to put the time in to find out more about the food that you're consuming? We all know McDonald's isn't the best food in the world, but why? And what can you eat instead that's going to be better? How many calories are in a McDonald's? Maybe, like one of the things I notice a lot in this industry is that people will say that it's unhealthy to eat like a Kit Kat and a yogurt, and then they'll show themselves eating their breakfast drink that they bought somewhere and some like healthy super protein bar. And when you actually break down the numbers, the sugar is higher on the healthy side than it is on the supposedly unhealthy side. But because we just take it at face value, we assume that this will the healthy side, the thing that's purchased in the health aisle and has got TV ads and Facebook ads about being healthy, is obviously better than the one that people just know to be bad, like a Kit Kat, for example. So why do we not educate yourself? If you're sitting there and you're watching this, and you've probably heard me talk over and over again about gaining weight, like that's the journey that I'm on at the minute, but I did plant-based for a year, so I talked about that, and like making yourself healthy meals. And the way I'm thinking now is maybe I chunked it up too much. I was thinking, you just do this and this and this, and that'll help you. Just make healthy meals. But I never really explained to people what a healthy meal is. And the easiest way to describe a healthy meal is fresh. So fresh food, whatever the food is, if it's fresh. So if the vegetables are fresh when you get them, if the meat is fresh when you get it, whatever you're adding to it is fresh. Like you wouldn't like make a cup of tea and pour lumpy milk and go, it's not that fresh, but it's fine. Like you go for fresh milk. So why not go for fresh veg and all that sort of stuff as well? So I'm going to repeat the question because this is what I want to know. I want to know why people aren't educating themselves. Like when people come to me and they tell me that they've tried everything to lose weight, and I say, have you tried tracking your calories? No, I don't like doing that. That's too strict. Like, well, if everything else isn't working and the one thing that's guaranteed to work you haven't tried, then it's not surprising that you failed. Like I know I did this when I wanted to gain weight. I told Mark that I knew I was eating loads, so I didn't need a track. And then when I tracked, I was like, fuck, actually, I'm not eating nearly as much as I thought. That was because I was very clean eating at that stage. So my meals were filling. It might have took me 45 minutes to eat the meal. But whenever you weighed it out, it was actually only about 200, 300 calories. So if you don't know what you're putting into your body, there's no way for you to make changes. If you have weight on, you want to lose weight. If you don't know what you're eating, then you can't make the changes to drop healthy weight. What you can do is crash diet or fast or ketosis or something fucking that you know you're not going to maintain. That'll work for a bit. It might drop off a bit of weight, but then it'll come back on probably with a vengeance. You'll end up gaining more weight. So start educating yourself. Start to, like, you can reach out to me. I'm quite happy to talk to people about my understanding of food. I've been doing this for 20 years, so I have quite a good knowledge. I even have a program that I've made, maybe last year it came out, Fat Loss Folly. So it was just a few examples of things that you could do now to implement right now. Like the easiest one, the one that people say, I could never do that, but it's the easiest thing to start implementing is chew your food 50 times. Every mouthful of food, 50 chews. Steak, a wee bit more because it's harder to digest. So you chew and you count to 50. It does two things. One, it breaks it down so it makes the body easier to digest. The nutrients, your body can take more nutrients from it because it doesn't have to do as much work to open it all up, to mulch it all down even, not open it all up. So it's both kind of work. But it also takes longer to eat. So your body, your brain can catch up with your stomach and say, look, I've had enough, I'm full. So what I'm trying to do here is just cut through the bullshit with people. I don't want to tell you that a certain diet works because it doesn't. Just paying attention to what you like to eat and then eating it in moderation. Paying attention to the rules of food. Like if you eat shitloads of food, you will gain shitloads of weight. If you don't eat enough, you will lose too much. You have to find that balance in between. So that's just kind of what I wanted to get across today, that the main problem that you feel in any area of your life is education. Like, why can't you meditate? Because you don't know enough about meditation. Why can't you gain muscle, gain strength in the gym? You don't know enough about what you're trying to do. Or you're listening to people that don't know either. So question everyone, question everything. Everything I've said now, I'm quite happy for you to come along and question it. If I'm wrong, brilliant. I can learn from that. If I'm right, then try it and then you'll see for yourself. So thanks again for tuning in. I hope you got something from this and you understand where you need to go if you want to gain or lose weight. Track calories. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. If you think it'll resonate with anyone else or you just want to help me grow my channel, then please hit the subscribe and the bell and the like and write a comment and share it with everyone and do all the things that make me super famous so that I can tell more people to track their calories. Have an amazing day, whatever you get up to, and I will speak to you again on the next video.